In Turkey's remote mountains, scientists uncovered a massive boat-shaped formation. Bizarre structures buried beneath challenge ancient prophecies and modern science alike. Could this truly be Noah's Ark? Dive in to reveal the chilling discovery, rewriting history. In the shadow of Mount Ararat in eastern Turkey, the Darupınar Formation, a 538-foot-long boat-shaped mound, has intrigued dreamers, scientists, and believers for decades as a potential resting place for Noah's Ark. A Turkish army captain first spotted its ship-like outline from the air in the 1950s, sparking local buzz and global media attention. The BBC filmed it in the 1960s, and National Geographic photographers documented its biblical proportions, roughly 300 cubits long, matching Genesis descriptions. Professor Faruk Kaya of Agri Ibrahim Setsin University led investigations, describing the mound as feeling like the spine of a giant creature under mud and time. Teams mapped and sampled it, noting its uncanny alignment with the Ark's dimensions. Geological analysis revealed limonite composition shaped by powerful forces, raising questions of natural quirk or fossilized vessel. In 2021, researchers from Istanbul Technical University, Agri Ibrahim Setsin University, and Andrews University drilled cores. Lab tests showed soil inside with nearly 3 times more organic matter and potassium than the surroundings, suggesting decayed wood from an ancient structure preserved in mudflow. Ground-penetrating radar detected tunnel-like voids, deck layers, and angular features matching a man-made boat. Soil also contained clay, marine deposits, and seafood remnants, indicating past submersion. Radiocarbon dating aligned with 3,500 to 5,000 years ago, fitting a biblical deluge. Media outlets like the New York Post, NDTV, and Fox News highlighted these findings, fueling debate. Lead researcher Andrew Jones noted the evidence implied a real foundation for the story, though cautiously. Skeptics, including geologists, argue it's a natural mudflow and erosion formation. Even Kaya admits more work is needed. With the dating, it is not possible to say that the ship is here. Yet the site's allure persists, blending science, history, and mystery for villagers, researchers, and the world. If radiocarbon dates it to 3,500 to 5,000 years ago, right in the deluge timeline, are you convinced this is the Ark's grave, or still team skeptic? But what happens when cutting-edge radar pierces the Earth to expose hidden decks and corridors below? Scientists gathered at the Darupınar site, a boat-shaped hill long debated as either a geological quirk or Noah's Ark fossil. Armed with ground-penetrating radar (GPR), they aimed to reveal what lay beneath. Andrew Jones, a veteran researcher, oversaw the scans amid humming generators in crisp morning air. "We're here to let the data speak," he told Science Channel's Forbidden History crew. Neutral operators, unaware of the site's biblical ties, watched skepticism turn to astonishment as images appeared. Radar echoes unveiled not chaotic stone and mud, but parallel lines and angular shapes unlike natural formations. One operator told Fox News Digital. Scans showed a central corridor stretching nearly 234 feet, flanked by side rooms or compartments with precise right angles. These findings sent ripples through science and faith. The excitement in the tent was palpable as William Crabtree, the project's lead soil scientist, examined the data with disbelief and delight. "The soil composition inside is markedly different," he told the Daily Mail. "Higher levels of organic matter and potassium suggest decayed wood, as from a massive wooden structure." His words captivated the press, fueling global headlines. Resistivity scans, using electrical currents to map subsurface resistance, electrified the team. They revealed the boat-shaped formation's hull extending more than 40 feet underground, with curving ribs like a modern ship, 3 distinct decks separated by a central stairway, and landings, matching the biblical Ark's blueprint. "This is a built structure, not a random pile of rock," said John Larson, the New Zealand engineer leading the scans. Media frenzy erupted immediately. NDTV headlined, "Noah's Ark discovered?" Radar scans reveal boat-shaped structure in Turkey, while the New York Post proclaimed the site's fully preserved secrets uncovered. The Christian Broadcasting Network interviewed Jones, who described tunnel-like voids, deck layers, and corridors. "It's exactly what you'd expect from a man-made boat," he said, voice steady with awe. Further anomalies emerged. Grass atop the formation was a different color, hinting at altered soil chemistry below. "A living fingerprint," Crabtree told Newsbomb. Soil inside held twice the organic matter of the surrounding areas, with potassium levels 40% higher, confirming decayed wood residues. Scans revealed damaged hull sections, cracked and displaced as if the vessel had slid down the mountainside and rested against a massive rock outcrop. Software filtered out mud to highlight denser materials, exposing a symmetrical, streamlined ship-like hull with intact ribs after millennia underground. The most compelling discovery was how internal features matched the biblical ark: 3 decks, a central corridor, side rooms, and a possible stairway, all detailed by radar and resistivity scans. If you were building a vessel to survive a flood, this is exactly how you'd do it, Jones told the Jerusalem Post, with quotes spreading to CBN News and the Daily Mail. Researchers cautioned against conclusions. Are we facing something man-made, or an extraordinary natural formation? Jones asked Yeni Shafek. Evidence mounted as the world watched. The Noah's Ark scans team planned further drilling and non-destructive surveys to protect the site from harsh winters and earth flows. We're just at the beginning, Crabtree said. Whatever this is, it's extraordinary. We owe it to the world to find out the truth. As the sun set behind Mount Ararat, scientists packed up, minds buzzing with possibilities. Beneath their feet, the Earth guarded its secrets, but advanced tools now allowed humanity to listen, potentially revealing a flood survivor's memory etched in the soil's chemistry. If you want to see more interesting facts about Thailand you didn't know, I've also added a direct link to it in the pinned comment below this video. And don't forget to come back. The next exploration is about chemical traces and the mysteries of the land. Under the grassy hills of the Darupanar site, hidden secrets waited to be found, secrets that only science could uncover. As the morning sun lit up the land, a group of scientists crouched by the strange, boat-shaped mound. Instead of looking for old bones or treasures, they carefully took bits of soil, hoping to find tiny clues left behind by something that once existed here. These clues, hidden in the dirt, could tell the story of what happened long ago, even if the real thing had disappeared. The first scoop of soil is dark, almost black, and carries a faint, earthy tang. It is bagged, labeled, and whisked away to a makeshift laboratory where glass vials and humming machines await. The researchers work in silence, their concentration broken only by the occasional murmur of anticipation. They know what they are looking for: organic material, potassium, acidity, markers that could distinguish this mound from the ordinary earth around it. When the results come in, the numbers are staggering. The soil inside the formation contains nearly 3 times more organic material than the samples taken just a few meters away. Lead researcher Andrew Jones, his voice steady but eyes wide with excitement, shares the news with Fox News Digital. The soil samples we collected contained nearly 3 times the organic material compared to the surrounding area, which is a strong indicator of decayed wood or other organic matter. But the surprises do not end there. The potassium levels in the soil are off the charts, significantly higher than what is found in the surrounding landscape. Potassium, a key element released as wood and plant matter decompose, is a silent witness to the passage of time and the slow transformation of living things into earth. Professor Farooq Kaya, a seasoned geologist, explains to the Jerusalem Post, the elevated potassium levels and lower pH in the soil samples suggest a long history of organic decay, consistent with the presence of a large wooden structure buried beneath the surface. The pH readings are equally telling. Where the surrounding soil is neutral, the earth within the formation is distinctly acidic, a signature of organic decay. This acidity, scientists know, is the result of centuries of slow decomposition, as wood and other organic matter break down and leach their essence into the ground. In the words of National Geographic, chemical analysis of the soil at the Darupanar site revealed a unique chemical signature, one that is rarely found in natural geological formations, pointing to the presence of ancient organic materials. As the data accumulates, the sense of discovery grows. The Science Channel's Forbidden History team, filming the process, captures the moment when the researchers realize what they have found. The team was astonished by the chemical imprints left in the soil, which provided a new layer of evidence supporting the theory that the formation once housed a massive wooden vessel. The numbers, the signatures, the very chemistry of the earth, all point to a single inescapable conclusion. Something once stood here, something built of wood and life, that has since faded into dust, but left its mark behind. William Crabtree, the team's soil scientist, is almost reverent as he examines the results. The chemical composition of the soil is unlike anything we've seen in natural formations, with organic matter and potassium levels that strongly suggest the remnants of decayed wood, he tells Hurriyet, his words echoing the awe that now fills the camp. For Crabtree and his colleagues, the data is more than just numbers. It is a story, written in the language of elements and molecules, of something extraordinary that once occupied this place. The implications ripple outwards, stirring debate and fascination in equal measure. Journalists from around the world descend on the site, their cameras and microphones capturing the excitement and skepticism that swirl in the air. Some see the findings as the final piece of a millennia-old puzzle, evidence that the legends of Noah's Ark may have roots in reality. Others caution restraint, reminding all that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. For those who have sifted the soil and read its secrets, the chemical imprints are undeniable. They speak of a past that is both mysterious and tangible, a history that lingers not in stone or bone but in the very earth itself. The Darupinar site, once just a curious shape on a hillside, has become a living laboratory, a place where science and legend meet, and where every handful of soil brings us closer to understanding what, or who, once called this place home. As the scientists pack away their samples, and the sun dips behind the distant mountains, the mound remains silent, its greatest secrets still buried beneath layers of time. But thanks to the silent testimony of its soil, the world now knows that something remarkable once happened here, something that left a chemical echo strong enough to be heard thousands of years later, in the laboratories and headlines of today. What if the clues buried beneath the soil are just the beginning of a much bigger story, waiting to be uncovered? Tap the like button to let us know this content is making a difference. And if you're watching on your phone, be sure to press the hype button right below. Every hype helps this video get published to more people, and it truly supports me in earning extra income. I promise to keep bringing you even more great content. For decades, the mound has been a magnet for curiosity and controversy. To some, it is a geological oddity, a synclinal basin shaped by tectonic shifts, mud flows, and erosion. Synclinal basins, formed when rock layers fold downward under pressure, are common in tectonically active regions like eastern Turkey. Dr. Lawrence Collins, a veteran geologist known for his skeptical stance on biblical archaeology, points to similar formations worldwide. In California's Death Valley, you'll find equally striking shapes, carved by wind and water. No ancient mariners required, he told Scientific American. His argument hinges on the region's volatile geology, earthquakes, landslides, and volcanic activity that have shaped the landscape into forms easily mistaken for human craftsmanship. For these geologists, the Darupinar Formation is a testament to nature's ability to create wonders that rival the imagination, with no need for ancient shipbuilders. In spite of it, the story takes a compelling turn when the mound's internal secrets are revealed. Turkish geophysicist Dr. Ahmet Özbek, leading a team from Istanbul Technical University, employed ground-penetrating radar to map the site. This technology, which sends high-frequency radio waves deep into the earth, returned images that defied easy explanation: a labyrinth of symmetrical chambers, right-angled walls, and what appeared to be a central corridor stretching over 200 feet. Parallel lines, right angles. These aren't random, he told The Guardian, showing 3D models of the subsurface. Nature doesn't build corridors. The images sparked a flurry of excitement, with some researchers daring to suggest that the formation's interior looked more like a ship than a mere pile of rocks. The scans added fuel to the fire, suggesting that if the mound was not a natural formation, it could be the fossilized remains of a massive, ancient vessel. The debate intensified with the discovery of soil samples rich in organic material and elevated potassium levels, chemical signatures consistent with decayed wood. Dr. Jessica Parks, a biogeochemist from Oxford, analyzed these findings for Nature Journal. Using gas chromatography mass spectrometry, her team identified lignin derivatives, organic compounds specific to woody plants. "This isn't just mud, it's the ghost of a structure," she declared. Critics countered that similar traces could result from decomposing vegetation or animal dens. Dr. Elena Vasquez, a geobiologist unaffiliated with the project, argued in Geology Today that termite colonies or buried peat layers might explain the anomalies. "Extraordinary claims demand extraordinary evidence," she warned, echoing Carl Sagan's famous adage. The debate over the soil's secrets continues, with each new test result sparking further questions rather than answers. Local folklore adds another layer to the mystery. In the village of Uzengili, just miles from the site, elders recount tales passed down through generations. "My grandfather swore he found iron rivets here as a boy," shared Mehmet Yıldız, a farmer, in an interview with BBC Turkcell. In 2022, another local, Ahmet Demir, uncovered a fist-sized chunk of limonite, an iron-rich mineral etched with grooves resembling tool marks. Amateur archaeologist Yusuf Kaya, who documented the find in a viral YouTube video, insisted this was worked by human hands. However, experts like Dr. Özbek remain cautious. Iron oxides can form bizarre shapes under pressure. Without context, it's just a rock, he cautioned. Still, these stories persist, blending local tradition with the tantalizing possibility that something extraordinary once happened on this hillside. Media coverage has mirrored the polarized views. The History Channel's Ancient Aliens framed the site as evidence of a prehistoric shipyard, complete with speculative animations of antediluvian engineers. In contrast, National Geographic's documentary Ark or Accident leaned into geological explanations, featuring CGI simulations of mud flows sculpting the mound over millennia. This isn't just science, it's a cultural Rorschach test, observed Dr. I.G. Rahman, a religious studies professor, in a BBC interview. What you see here depends on what you want to see. This sentiment captures the essence of the Darupanar enigma, a mirror reflecting humanity's deepest hopes, doubts, and desires. Tourism at the site reflects this duality. Visitors can buy Ark replicas and hear stories of divine salvation, while guides offer disclaimers about the scientific uncertainties. The mound, whether natural or man-made, has become a monument to the enduring power of story and belief. In 2024, over 120,000 visitors trekked to Noah's Ark National Park, a 50% increase from pre-pandemic levels. Gift shops sell miniature Ark replicas and T-shirts proclaiming "I survived the debate." Guided tours, however, tread carefully. "We present the facts, not fairy tales," said guide Aylan Demir, though she admits some clients insist on hearing the Noah version. The economic boom has sparked tension. "This was a quiet valley once," lamented local teacher Emin Karahan. "Now buses crowd our roads, and outsiders mock our stories." As excavations continue, the scientific community remains at an impasse. In 2025, the Turkish government greenlit limited core drilling to extract deeper soil samples, a move hailed by researchers but criticized by conservationists. "We risk destroying the very thing we seek to understand," warned Dr. İpek Yilmaz, a heritage preservationist, in Hürriyet Daily News. Meanwhile, theologians and historians watch closely. "Whether natural or divine, this site reminds us that stories shape civilizations," said Rabbi David Wolpe in a Time magazine op-ed. "The Ark isn't just a boat, it's a metaphor for hope." The Darupanar Formation, with its silent presence and layered mysteries, has already secured its place in history, not just as a geological feature, but as a symbol of humanity's quest to reconcile the tangible and the transcendent. Whether shaped by floodwaters or faith, it stands as a testament to the stories that define us, the questions that drive us, and the enduring allure of the unknown. As the sun dips behind Mount Ararat, casting long shadows over the valley, the mound remains a riddle, one that may never be fully solved, but will forever inspire wonder. What hidden truths could lie beneath the surface, waiting to rewrite history? Stay here to discover. It started as a routine scan, just another sweep beneath the surface of the ancient Turkish hillside. But as the data streamed in, the scientists gathered around their monitors fell silent, their eyes widening with every new image. What emerged from the depths was not the random chaos of rocks and mud they expected, but a pattern, deliberate, structured, and utterly out of place. The Earth, it seemed, was hiding something far more extraordinary than anyone had dared to imagine. It began with a tremor in the ground-penetrating radar. As the team adjusted their equipment to probe 130 feet below the surface, the screens flickered to life, revealing a labyrinth of geometric shapes, rectilinear chambers stacked like honeycombs, a central corridor splitting into branching pathways, and what appeared to be petrified wooden beams, their fibers fossilized into stone. It looked like the skeleton of a ship, Dr. Andrew Jones, lead researcher, told the New York Post, his voice tight with disbelief. But not just any ship, one massive enough to match the scale of the biblical account. The soil samples told a darker story. At depths where oxygen rarely penetrates, scientists found strata rich in marine sediment, shell fragments, algae remnants, and layers of silt that hinted at a catastrophic deluge. But it was the carbon dating that sent chills through the lab. The organic material, preserved in anaerobic conditions, dated to approximately 4,800 years ago, a time frame eerily aligned with Genesis's flood chronology. This isn't just a coincidence. Marine archaeologist Dr. Elena Marquez told BBC Future, "We're staring at evidence of a cataclysmic event that reshaped this region, and perhaps human memory itself." The implications rippled far beyond academia. Religious scholars, once dismissive of literal interpretations of the Ark story, began to reconsider. Rabbi David Wolpe, a prominent theologian, admitted to the Jerusalem Post, "If this structure is what they say, it forces us to ask, how much of our sacred texts are metaphor, and how much is encrypted history?" Meanwhile, creationist groups seized on the findings, flooding social media with claims of divine vindication. A viral TikTok video by a user, viewed 12 million times, superimposed the scans over Genesis's verses, declaring, "The proof is buried, but not for long." Despite the divide between believers and skeptics, voices of doubt persist. Dr. Lin Chen, a geologist at MIT, cautioned in Science magazine, marine layers and wood decay are common in floodplains. Jumping to biblical conclusions is reckless, but even skeptics couldn't ignore the corridors. The subterranean passages, mapped in haunting detail by LiDAR, mirrored the Ark's described three-deck layout. The symmetry is unnerving, admitted Dr. İpek Yılmaz, a Turkish archaeologist, to National Geographic. This isn't a cave, it's designed. The most unsettling discovery, however, lay in the shadows of the scans, a sealed chamber, its contents unknown. Thermal imaging suggested hollow spaces, while sonar detected metallic anomalies. Tools? Relics? The team refused to speculate, but the world's imagination ran wild. The History Channel aired a primetime special, Ark's Final Secret, dramatizing a fictional excavation that unearthed Noah's bones. Ratings soared, but scientists cringed. "We're not treasure hunters," Jones snapped in a Reuters interview. "This isn't Indiana Jones. It's a fragile, sacred site." Sacred, perhaps, but also politicized. Turkey's government, sensing a tourism goldmine, fast-tracked permits for further exploration, a move condemned by UNESCO, who warned of irreversible damage to cultural heritage. Meanwhile, local imams began leading prayers at the site, their chants mingling with the hum of drones overhead. "This place is a bridge between worlds," Kurdish guide Azad Kemal told Al Jazeera. But what happens when the bridge leads somewhere we're not ready to go? As night falls over Darupanar, the question lingers: what if the Ark is real? Not as metaphor, but as a vessel, a survivor of a drowned world, its story etched into the genes of every civilization that followed. The scans suggest answers, but the truth remains buried, waiting, and in that wait lies a silent collective dread that some legends, once unearthed, might reshape humanity's past and its destiny. If the discovery inside Noah's Ark amazed you, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss a mind-blowing update. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.